Lights, camera, action, let's dive in deep. Talking directors, actors, the secrets they keep. From behind the scenes to the silver screen. Hard-hitting questions, nothing in between. We're rated B, rated the podcast sensation. Unveiling truth, sparking conversations. Where every story gets its chance to shine. We're rated B, rated, let's rewind.
All right. So, hello and welcome to Berated, B-rated. I think we call them chats. I don't think we call them conversations. I don't remember what we call them. But I am Brian with a B, and with me tonight, is Owen Llewelyn from the amazing movie, The R.I.P. Man. So thank you. I know we've been trying to do it for a couple weeks now. And again, apologies for last week. You know, I was really glad that we were able to come out and do this.
Oh, me too. Happy to be here. All
right. Got your name right?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. So, I guess we could just jump right into it, you know? So basically, the movie is about a killer who you played, and he has a rare medical condition, right? Yeah. With their teeth, their mouth, and he goes around killing people. So this really touches with me for sure, because I'm super shy about like my mouth and my teeth and stuff like that. Like, I hate going to the dentist. Not that it hurts like that, but you know, watching the people that end up dying, and you're just like, oh God, no, not their mouth, not their teeth, you know, like it's such a great concept, you know, and we love the movies where we can squirm, put ourselves in the victim's shoes, stuff like that. The more, you know, the realistic it can be, just amazing. So when we read it, and we're just like, oh God, dude, I really don't want to watch a movie where it's going to make us squirm in our seats, because that's one of the touchy subjects with me in my personal life. Is I used to have like OCD in my mouth, so I'd like brush my teeth nonstop and like everything. And so like, I'm still super shy on mouth and teeth. So when the victims end up dying and they get their teeth pulled out, like I still hate dreams where I was like, oh, I think I just chipped my tooth. Oh my God. Like I'll just wake up and, you know, so very great job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're among many people who like squirm at the thought of their mouth being like violated with like instruments. It's a very personal area, and I think it's
vulnerable.
Of course, yeah, it triggers a lot of people. Like the thought of someone, especially like the drill that the R.I.P. man uses with the little drill bit wings on the ends, and
it had the hole cutter.
The thought of that actually just destroying, like pulling your teeth to, well, yeah, just absolutely wrecking your mouth, like is a horrible thought. And I think it strikes a chord with a lot of people.
Yeah, like for sure. Like I remember when I was a little kid, we had blow darts, and I remember I had a marble in it, and I sucked it in, and then it hit me in my tooth. Ooh. And it chipped my tooth, and it was one of the most painful things in the entire world, because like it's, you know, you have all those, your mouth is very sensitive, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, great concept. Everything about the movie was amazing. Where was it filmed? Like where, like, is there a specific area?
Yeah. I mean, it was filmed in quite a few different locations all over the south coast of England. Well, I say all over the southeast of the UK, Sussex. Yeah, everything was actually in Sussex. Mainly Brighton, and then there was a town called Worthing, and Arundel and Chichester, I believe, are the main towns I at least filmed in. There might have been other locations where I wasn't on set, and I
How long? How long did it take you guys to do it all?
it was over quite a long time. So because of being low budget and locations aren't cheap, I think. But Jamie is the director is fantastic at finding these, because the locations in R.I.P. Man are, some of them are really good. And
Yeah, everything looked great. That's what we were just wondering, like we saw one movie and it looked like they were like, I don't know, in Utah or something. It's like, no, we were actually over in Poland, and we're like, holy cow. Like that's,
Yeah.
big difference from Utah all the way to Poland for it. So
yeah,
no, and
and
it's, yeah, sorry.
oh no, I was just gonna say, like, because of the location scouting on the low budget, you have to wait until that location's available at this low budget rate. So I believe that's why we started filming in well, we did the first scene in August of 2024. We did that
Really?
short, like the opening scene, and it was kind of used as a Indiegogo crowdfunder to fund the rest of the film. So we did that separately, but then I think we started the principal photography in like November. I think they started actually filming the main bulk of the film, and that went on until April, like in staggered shoots. So it's quite a long time for shooting.
Holy cow.
Yeah. But then they were editing it as they went along, so the turnaround for actually having the film complete, it was ready by September, so which isn't a bad post-production rate,
Yeah, no, we got done filming one of ours like a year ago, and so there's just been so much. Like we'll end up hopefully talking to other people about our thing of it, but we always joke around with the actors and producers and everything about, okay, since you guys are doing these horror movies, what's something that happened during it? And there's like some crazy, like, oh, an earthquake happened in the middle of production, or something fell through and we weren't able to actually complete it anymore, so we had to move completely different locations. We're like, it's just the funny stuff that happens, hearing the stories about what happens. Did anything crazy happen when you guys were filming?
Nothing crazy. We had a couple of hiccups while filming. There's that scene, in the tower where I'm stalking. My character is stalking the character Nike, and she goes into this tower, and there's like the great drone shots, and yeah. It's my favorite visual scene of the whole film. But that one, I know Morgan, the cinematographer, he broke like 3 pieces of equipment that day, having a nightmare and a breakdown. I mean, he broke down over that. Also, on the scene with Timmy in the like cellar lair for the R.I.P. man, and his feet get sawn. It was originally meant to be like, we actually had the 2 blades, we had these fake legs, and they were going to rip, and the blades were going to go completely through his feet, and it was going to look amazing. But unfortunately, it just wasn't working. The blades were just a little too short for it to work, and we didn't have the location for another day, so go back. So they had to change it to it's still a very grisly look where the foot snaps and you see that little bit where the feet just break. But that was actually going to be like the splatter kill in the film, if you know what I mean, like in the sense of just going.
No, we enjoyed actually my son, he's 12. We allowed him. So Anthony and I watched it, and then we went back and we watched it again, because when we watched it the first time, it's our genuine, like our episodes, those are our genuine like reactions to the movies. Like, holy shit, like that really just happened. Or, oh my God, that person just died, and there's not a lot of sound on it, And so we usually get the story, like a lot of the directors nail it where they're like, okay, you didn't have the sound on, but yet you still caught all those little bits and pieces of it,
Oh, yeah.
And so we've watched the movie, I think 3 times now. And it's such a great movie too. Like I actually told my nephew, I was like, yeah, dude, tell your mom you can watch it. Like there's no nudity in it. there's it's a great movie. Like I let my 12-year-old watch it. I think he'll probably try to bust in my office door and be like, I want to talk to somebody. So if some 12-year-old kid comes in here, he'll probably want to talk to you about the movie too. But it is like it was such a simple idea. Excuse me, such a simple idea, but it hit home so well. The killer, you didn't have a mask per se, it was just a normal person that's going and murdering people. And like you mentioned earlier, that the drill in the mouth, like that, it gives you shivers talking about it because it's such a messed up thing to do,
And as you say, like there is no mask in the sense, and there's no hiding the character either, which is, I think, a little unique in horror where you're giving him straight away. Like you see what he looks like and what he does, like in very first moments of the film, really. And then where you're, rather than discovering what the character looks like and how he behaves, the film revolves around finding out why rather than who. And
yeah, exactly. That was another great thing too. It was like there was, you can correct me if I'm wrong, there was that one twist towards the end of why he was killing the people, but everything else was like straightforward. They went to the shop and they talked to that guy, and that guy's like, well, I sold them these and I made it for this person. And then they talked to everybody and everybody knows who it was. So there wasn't anything hiding it, but the twist of it where, why he was killing those people. You're just like, oh, dude, that's an amazing twist. Like, great job for it. Like, I guess we can spoil it because if they've already listened to our episode, they've already watched the movie. So the fact that it was such a messed up thing that the parents were like, you know what, let's just get rid of this kid. What did they say, 18 months?
Yeah, they're cold. And there's
Dude,
more to the parents, as I think that is something I'll say about the sequel. There's going to be more to find out about the parents.
Oh, yeah, because, sorry, going through my notes, because the way that it ended as well, like that was going to be one of the questions, like, potentially get back to it. But, yeah, the way the movie ended, for sure, it's set up perfectly. And what was the guy's name? The one, so your character, you had an issue with your teeth.
Yes.
And then they started the Dent Gang. What?
Enties.
I can't remember
Enties clan.
Yes, the Dent clan. And so the other character, which we didn't get a lot of, but he was a creeper in the background when they were talking. And you're just like, dude, what's that guy's problem? Like, get out of their face. Like, quit trying to eavesdrop on everybody. Like, that dude was pissing you off. And you're just like, what the hell? And so Anthony works at I think a psych ward, a mental hospital, I believe. I've known the guy for like 7 years, but like I'm not 100% sure where he works, So even Anthony, when he was watching that, like it made him uncomfortable because they're the two people talking, and that guy in the background's like, oh, let me see what's going on. And then it was like staring him down and walking towards it. And so then when you see it at the end, that is the other person of the clan, and you're just like, oh shit, for sure number 2 is going to happen with it. So I guess you kind of answered it, but is there going to be a number 2 then? Oh,
definitely. We're in the middle of filming. We're almost finished filming. I'm filming tomorrow. I'm actually tomorrow morning. Yeah, but we've been filming it the last couple of months, and yeah, it's definitely happening. And the character you're talking about, Chaz Porter, who is Alden Pick's best friend in the mental health facility they're in, and he's on the loose now, as a spoilers. So yeah, he escaped at the end, and he's the new killer on the loose. Alden Pick is not dead; he is alive. He is he's going to be in prison though, and well, at least for the start of the film. And
Yeah.
then,
No, it was. Yeah, the ending was just great because then you're wanting more of it, because now you realize who Alden's friend was, and you're just like, that was that asshole that was eavesdropping on him and everything. And now it comes through that he's going to be the other person that was in that clan. And
this guy had a condition of the tongue where he, I can't remember what it was called, but his tongue was so uncomfortable for him that he ended up cutting it off.
Was that his tongue?
Yeah, he cut off his own tongue, this guy, Chaz Porter, because it was so uncomfortable for him. And now he's the killer on the loose, and he has a infatuation with tongues, just like Alden Pick has a infatuation with teeth. And
Dude.
and obviously the tongue is also a very private area and I was thinking, and I think like it might be the most sensitive organ in the whole body, right? When you think about how much it hurts just if you like nick your tongue, like and he wants to cut. Yeah, he's attacking people's tongues.
Dude,
we've got
I should have
grizzly tongue scenes to look forward to.
Oh no, dude, those ones are such horrible, like things to watch because you're like, oh no, don't do it. Like we're perfectly fine people getting stabbed or shot or head chopped off, but when you do something so intimate like that, you're just like, oh, it makes you so uncomfortable watching it. I think that's because a lot of them don't do it. There's a lot of the directors and producers and stuff like that even our movie, like we just stab people, got their guts out, and poison people. The normal kills, but then you guys go into these deeper and more intimate kills. You're just like, God, that sucks so bad for that person being murdered. That's
all from the mind of Reese, the writer.
Dude.
He's got some twisted up ideas up there.
It's like I said, and how we mentioned at the beginning of it, like it's such a dear thing, I guess, because there's so many people that probably have issues with their mouth and are shy about it. And so like my wife actually works at like a dentist office.
Oh wow.
And they're always like, come in. And I was like, are you sure it's been 6 months? Like, and they're just like, dude, you have fine teeth, man. Like you'll be okay. But I was like, I just don't like it. And so like my algorithm on Instagram is people that like haven't brushed their teeth in like 15 years. And so they're just all calcified and everything like that. I was like, that's what I think my mouth looks like. And they're just like, shut up and get out of my office, But it's like, I'm so, like you're saying, your mouth is such a, I don't know, it's uncomfortable, but that's what makes it so great because you're just like, oh, and it gets those people and it pulls them in. So great stuff. And so I should have done some research, I guess, before we jumped on the call. Are the two issues that Alden and his friend had, are they real?
Anodontia definitely is. That's so the original idea that Reese got for the film apparently was he saw a documentary on anodontia one day, and that was what gave him the inspiration for creating the character of Alden Pick and
really
creating the R.I.P. man.
That was going to be one of the questions was, where'd you get the idea for this? Because I was going to say, for sure, one of you guys is probably like me, where you're just like, what's really uncomfortable? People looking at your mouth. And so we should have a killer that goes and does that.
Yeah. And I cannot say for the tongue condition. It's not something I've researched myself, but I can, knowing Reese, it probably is true. Going by the fact that anodontia is true, he probably looked up the backstory for this condition as well. I'd lean more like
that. That's crazy. And we love watching or hearing about those things too. Here's how we got the idea of it. So yeah. One of the things I know that this wasn't you, but when Jaden passed away, that was a really sad scene. We really wanted Jaden to end it and like end up fighting or beating somebody up, just because he's such a cool character.
Yeah, I agree. He it does feel sudden for because the character. Yeah, and Bruno does a great job portraying him, and there's a lot of angst in that character, and you do kind of.
I know, and I was telling myself, like, I love
just an audience member to want to see him in a fight, right? And then
yes, he deserves it, dude. I would have beat up so many people if I was Jaden. How everybody's like, oh, look at that piece of crap. He just murdered his girlfriend. And everybody's like, and everybody's making fun, like, you shouldn't be here. I'd be like, dude, my girlfriend was just murdered. Like, can I get any kind of sympathy? Like, Jesus, man.
Yeah.
Everybody's all pissed off at him. Like, I really wanted him to beat people up.
I agree. Jaden got a raw deal. But it's not like, it's like, I'm sure there's plenty of horror characters out there over the years, like where everyone's like, they shouldn't have killed that person that way. Like, like Randy in Scream 2. Like, everyone always has like an issue.
Yeah. No, and it's so great. Like I said, I watched it with my son, and I was like, dude, the way that Jaden is dressed was exactly how I dressed in like high school and college. And I was like, dude, I'm going to move to the UK where I could just wear my old clothes and be perfectly fine. I love it. So I think that's why I connect with Jaden so much too. Like, same hair, everything, dude. Just a high fade. Everything about Jaden's character was amazing. And then he died like that. And we're just like, no, not Jaden,
No, I mean, you're not the first, but like a few people I've spoken to who watched the film, he was their favorite character. So yeah, you're not alone with that thought.
And then I think there was another one where I couldn't read, apparently, because the text messages that I'm assuming you were sending people was such. The first time we watched it, we missed some things, but if we would have caught it the first time watching it, those text messages where it was at first you're like, okay, that doesn't make any sense, but then you realize what that text is, and you're just like, that is amazing too. So the text, I'm assuming now, right, that it was their birthday, and then the day that they were going to die, which was, I think, that day or maybe the next day.
No, it's the day, because they mention in the script, they say in the film, that Alden used his phone to communicate with the doctors at the mental health facility. So that was.
I missed that. I've seen the movie 3 times. I've missed that little sentence.
Yeah. He used his phone to communicate. So when he escaped, he used his phone to communicate people that they were going to die today. And
that I completely missed that. Then I just remember seeing it for the second time and being like, dude, that's such a messed up text to send to somebody, that's a great thing too, because then you'd get them and be like, yeah, right, shut up. Like, I'm not going to believe a text message that comes in, but then, I'm going to have to go rewatch it for a 4th time.
There's a really clever line at the end of the film where the character Clarissa says about the dash in between your birth date and death date, and they say, like, it's just a tiny little dash, but that little dash signifies everything you ever did in your life. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was a really
it's just
I really like that.
Seeing some of those things that makes you think too, we were just like, I never even thought about that, but that really is your entire life is just that little piece.
It's that little
right there
between those 2 dates.
That is good. That's solid, man. But like, I'm kind of disappointed in us that we missed that text like in the beginning of it, because that was such a great idea and such like a, the killer walking and like scratching the window or like breaking the twigs to scare the people out. Like, that's just one other way to mess with your victims, is to send them that text message. They'll be like, what does this even mean? So great. That was a great concept for it, man.
Yeah. I mean, he's a killer that kind of, even though he does mean business when he's doing things and has his motives of, he has his revenge motives or bitter resentment motives. He does like to
play. And he has every right
too. And he likes, the text is obviously, like, the text and the chattering teeth. They're all psychological ploys that Alden is mainly doing it because he has fun. I think that's what, at least I think, he's doing it for his own entertainment. The chattering teeth and the texts, because he wants.
See, we're looking at it more like he was just, we always find another thing too of like, you know what, they deserved it. And Alden, I'm Team Alden, man. Like your parents, like I would have gone after my parents.
Yeah.
Like my brother's friends really didn't deserve it, but my parents, they 100%, and it's scary because, sorry, what?
Oh no, I was just going to say, like, that's the foils of a twisted mind, I guess, right? He's focused all his negative energy on his brother and wants to get at him by getting to his friends, and when really his brother is.
It should be your parents.
The parents are the villains, and
your punk parents that did it for no reason. So before, so I used to be a sign language interpreter for deaf special needs children and stuff like that. So like I worked at the clinics for years with special needs children and everything like that. And so like you watch the children that have, issues, disabilities and everything like that. And like it breaks the families apart. There's a lot of times where the child will have special needs and one of the parents will walk out, and there's like, we can't deal with it, we can't deal with it. So the mom will walk away or the dad will walk away. We've seen both times where one of the parents, it's not always the dad, it's not always the mom, but multiple times there's multiple parents that are just like, I can't do it. And then they walk off. But one of the parents always is like, you know what? That's my kid. So the fact that these parents took care of a baby for 18 months and were like, you know what? Let's just get rid of it and try again. They are the ones. And so that's where Alden, where it's like, you know what? I support Alden's decision. The only decision that I did not support Alden with was when he took those teeth and put them in his own mouth.
That's going to be explored more in the sequel too.
Oh no!
One thing I just thought, because when you're saying about the parents abandoning, it came into, obviously that is a very real issue, and it made me think of. Did you see that film I Swear that came out earlier this year? It was a British movie about a guy who suffers with Tourette's.
It sounds familiar. I'm not positive though.
Excellent film. I recommend watching it. But
I Swear.
Yeah, it's a real life story about a guy who suffered with Tourette's his whole life, and but yeah, one of the dad walks out because he can't deal with his condition, and so even in a really recent and big film, that issue's covered. And it's not that unfamiliar. It's not that dissimilar to what the parents in R.I.P. Man did to poor Alden.
Yeah, like, why is my stuff? Sorry. We have a list. So we have these joking things. It's called our hard-hitting questions at the end of it. Was some suggestions that you would tell us to watch. So I had to find that note and put in I Swear for it.
I mean, it's not in the horror genre, but it's an excellent film.
Doesn't matter. We've had somebody who's like, yeah, you should watch this movie called Mrs. Doubtfire, where it's like, damn it, really? But yeah. No, it's seeing the stuff that, parents go through and everything with it, like my wife and I, we have our one kid and he's, an awesome kid, but we always wanted more kids. And so it was getting so close to us getting a new child or a new baby and everything like that. But then nowadays, there's so many parents who are like, they don't want to take care of the kid, but they want to be in that kid's life. And you're like, then you're just going to make it harder for that kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, so watching the whole thing with Alden, like that would be devastating and it would crush you. And so then of course you would want to get revenge for what's going on, because in Alden's eyes, I'm just going to think that maybe he's like, you know what, if it wasn't for that kid, I would be at the house,
Yeah.
But
he's living the life that Alden never got the chance to live, even though he felt he had the right to it. Well, he did have the right to it, but it was taken from him.
And it seems like it would just be such an easy fix, like dentures or anything,
Yeah.
So, yeah. I guess that was another heartstring that that got us,
Although
was because
it's not
yeah.
explained why necessarily in the script, but Alden's adopted father actually says that he did try getting him dentures, and Alden rejected them. I don't know if it was because they were too uncomfortable in his mouth, because obviously anodontia, your mouth is covered in sores as well, so it's painful for him.
Oh,
So yeah, his mouth is in pain, and so I don't know if dentures are too uncomfortable.
ah,
I don't know what I'm not sure exactly the reason, because it's not explained in the script. Maybe that's a question
yeah,
you can ask
but it was
Reece.
still
Alden's adopted father Alfie says that they tried to get Alden specialized dentures and it didn't work out.
yeah. My son, when we were watching, he said that Alden was just a super aggressive tooth fairy. You're like, he could be.
That's a fair description.
Yeah. And so we've had Anthony has a son. His son's almost 7, and we've always watched his son. And so they're like brothers. And he's like, that's probably Levi's dentist or tooth fairy. I'm like, dude, Anthony's going to hear this. He's going to come over and punch him in the arm, But no, it was everything about the movie. It was, like I said, it touches home. It's super easy to get into. It has the squeamish parts of it where you can't take your eyes away from it, but you're like, oh, that's going to hurt so bad. So everything was just great, man. I just want to kudos again, dude.
Right, thank you.
Like, that's awesome.
Glad you really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Let's see. I guess we can jump into those hard questions that I was talking about.
Okay.
So, suggestion wise, then, like, besides I Swear, which that's at the top of the list now, is there anything else that you would suggest that we try to find and watch?
Oh, is it new films or old or
Anything. Because there's stuff that we haven't seen. There's stuff that is on our radar. And so, like, if you say something like, oh, that's already on the list, that's an amazing one, or there's something like I Swear. Like I said, it sounds familiar, but I'm not positive.
I mean, a new film I'd recommend. I mean, it's not that obscure, but Lee Cronin's The Mummy. I really enjoyed that one. Have you seen that?
No, but I think that is on like my personal list.
It's very It's very evil. It's very much like the modern Evil Dead's, but it could easily it feels almost like it's part of the Evil Dead franchise. But I really
yes, yeah.
I mean, my favorite film of all time. It's not a horror, but like for some reason, most people haven't seen it, even though it's a Jonathan Demme film. Something Wild.
I think I'm in that category of I don't even. Something
it's my favorite film of all time. It's it's like a quirky comedy road movie that halfway through it becomes a thriller, and I love it.
Nice.
I just think it's got Ray Liotta in one of his earliest performances playing a completely on edge psychopath in it. And
all right,
and then Jeff Daniels being Jeff Daniels, Melanie Griffith being Melanie Griffith, and it's great fun. It's just one of those movies that just I watch it every few years. It's like a treat to rewatch it.
And it's just spelled correctly, right? Like WILD, not WYLDE.
Just regular spelling of wild.
Just regular. All right.
Yeah.
So we do. I don't know if you knew. Like, we have another podcast. It's called Everything Gets Berated, where we watch movies just like you said, Something Wild, and then we'll talk about it. So if we do jump into that, would you want to jump on with our other episode? We just
love to talk about Something Wild. It's
oh man,
I don't get to
all right
because no one's ever seen it. Like, even when I tell my closest friends this is my favorite film, watch it, I still don't think they have. They have the secret. They hate it.
Now it's calling them out on it. Like, I told you how long ago to watch this, you still haven't. And then when you try to do like those inside jokes about that movie, they'll be like, I don't get it. And be like, then you clearly haven't watched it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so pissed at my sister, and I hope she listens to this. I've been trying to tell her and her kids for months to watch just the original Joe Dirt.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, dude, exactly. So I've been playing video games with my little nephew, and he's like, oh, that sucks. I was like, shit'll buff out. And he's like, what's that even mean? And I'm like, you still haven't watched Joe Dirt? I was like, get your mom on the phone now, and
God,
it's
it's been so long. I just remembered when you said that, I thought of the meteor, and I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah. It's such a great thing. And then, excuse me. The last question is there anything that you're working on that you can tell us about that won't get you in trouble?
Oh, I mean, the only film I'm currently working on is R.I.P. Man 2. Yeah, I mean, we've covered quite a bit about it, about, Jazz Porter being on the loose.
What's the ending? No. So
I've also, I also did a comedy that came out late last year called Ghoul Squad. It's a mockumentary about ghost hunters that are terrible.
Called what?
Yeah, they're like the world's worst ghost hunters, and that.
What's it called?
Ghoul Squad.
Okay.
Like as in ghoul, as in GHOUL. Yeah.
And you're in there. It's a comedy.
Yeah, and
oh man,
some R.I.P. Man crossover. Apart from myself, Jamie, the director, Jamie Langlands, who plays DC Townsend in it, is he's an actor in Ghoul Squad, and so is Jasmine Keane, who plays Clarissa, and Charlotte Marshall, who plays my mother, has a small part in Ghoul Squad. So there's
we'll have to find those ones and see on those ones again.
So, if anyone's interested in seeing something, a comedy with a lot of the R.I.P. Man cast in, then watch Ghoul Squad, because it's really funny and it's great.
You think it's kid friendly? Is there nudity in it?
No, none. No, it's very kid.
That's all, like,
That's it. And it's on a Tubi and Plex at the moment.
Awesome. No, see, my kid, I know, and I look at it too, and like I was like, dude, when I was his age, like that's when Van Damme and Seagal and Arnold were out, so every movie there is just tits, and I was like, dude, I can't let my kid watch that yet. My younger brother's like, we were watching those by then. I was like, yeah, well, we also were able to ride our bike past 9 o'clock at night. So the only thing with my son, like I let him watch all the gore, all the murders, everything like that. And my son's been in our movies, our shorts. He's been on our podcast multiple times. Just love the movies that we can watch, because then it just makes it that much more enjoyable that you're able to do it with your family, your family and friends, everything like that. So not that, we don't love boobies in movies, but we got our kids with us. It's always, great to watch them.
Do you direct, or are you acting in the movies, or both?
So I'm acting the movies, and then I guess I kind of direct, but Anthony's trying to get more behind the camera. And I was like, dude, I'll be in front of the camera all day, just to be funny. But I have, our funny ideas. Like we always come up with these ideas where it's like, dude, this would be a good horror movie. But then when we start doing it, we're just like, oh, for sure, this is going to be comedy horror now. So we've done a couple of things where it just turns out to be funny. And like, we're very thankful. Like because of our funny little podcast, we've met people like you. We've met people like a bunch of directors, James Balsamo, Tom Devlin, a bunch of the people from Plan 10 Pigs, everything like that, just a group out here, and so it's always so fun to watch the movies. And like, we honestly, like, we enjoy watching the movies so much, and so when it comes time to actually do them, then like I said, we have some good ideas, but then we actually start doing them, then it turns more into some comedy where people get murdered.
I love a horror comedy, so
yeah, we couldn't do anything like the R.I.P. man, you know, because like that was a good, like, for the serious one, you know, like we start out making the movie kind of serious, but then we're just like, all right, hear me out. What if this person did this? Like, I think we just filmed last week, like I said, and I was murdered on my toilet trying to take a dump. And then, spoiler alert for this one, then Steve Hansen goes upstairs into my bedroom and is in my bed with his wife, who used to be my wife, but he then became back to life. Yeah, it's pretty funny. But with that, then, I don't think I have any more questions. But if people want to follow you or get a hold of you or anything like that, do you want to give out your like social handles?
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything like that, so people can.
The place to find me these days is Instagram at Owen Llewelyn. Yeah, please give me a follow or send me a message if you want to reach out. And yeah, awesome.
Damn.
Yeah.
And then, like you said your movies. We bought your movie on Amazon. You said on PLEX.
Yeah. So yeah, R.I.P. Man's on Amazon, PLEX, Apple TV, and it's soon going to be on Shudder, which is quite exciting for all of us.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
amazing, dude. We have Shudder. Like, there's so many good indie films, you know.
Yeah,
and so we're so glad, you know. Anthony and I started the podcast, and it just gets so, I want to say, boring for like the Hollywood movies and stuff like that, because it's always the same thing over and over again. Like we kind of touched base at the beginning too, where nobody's going to do what you're doing. That's always the same kills, you know. But your guys' kills was completely different, and you know, just and the whole tongue cutting. I can't wait for number 2. That will be. Do you have any of like you? Do you know about how long you guys are? Like, or how much of your filming's done?
Almost all of it. So I've got 2 more days, and I don't think there's much more. I'm not privy to all the information. That's more for Jamie and Reese to tell. But I think, I think they're close to being done, and I imagine the film will be ready before this year is up.
Oh, wow. All right. Can't wait. That's awesome, man. So I want to, again, thank you for your time. I know we've been trying to set this up for a couple of weeks. So again, apologize last week.
Not to worry.
So, but yeah, thank you again. And we'd love to jump back on sometime and let's talk about The Strange Wild, right?
Yeah, Something Wild.
Something Wild. It's on my notes.
No, thank you.
All right.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
Rated B, rated the podcast sensation.